again, there's a narrative control being asserted here, and as you said, it's painting a government as illegitimate for the purpose of yeah, toppling it, destroying it. And the people now speaking out the loudest, empathy for the Iranian people, it's hard to take it seriously because these are the same people who just bombed Iran recently and are all for bombing it again. And now, of course, seeing Iran as an obstacle for geopolitical interest in the region. So this idea that you can just point to some protesters on the street saying, well, these are the real freedom-loving Iranians, and we have to do everything we can to support them. It's not genuine. I mean, one can support or be opposed to the government Iran, irrespective of that. None of this coverage is authentic or genuine. But what do we know about the involvement of foreign intelligence agencies in Iran to stoke these things? I know that it's, in some parts in the media, they say, well, this is just normal Iranian propaganda. However, we do see that Mike Pompeo, the former director of the CIA, and under Trump, the former Secretary of State, he tweeted, Happy New Year to every Iranian in the street, also to every Mossad agent walking beside them. So we should be worried that the former director of the CIA is participating in Iranian propaganda, or, it's it's become, I think, common knowledge accepted by most. But do you have any information or revelations in terms of the extent to which foreign intelligence agencies are involved in terms of trying to, yeah, destabilize the country?
Well, a number of things. One is that, um, if you in the rally in Tehran, which I'm sure was well over 1 million people. I don't know what the numbers were, but it was just extraordinary. But if you go and speak to these people, they don't have one political view. Some of them are pro this administration, some are opposed to it, some are, they have differing views altogether. Some are of one political persuasion, some are of another. Um, the point is that they support the Constitution and the legitimacy of the state. And they're willing to go to a great deal of trouble to support it because you've been to Tehran. Just get it. Today was not a holiday. Just getting there and going back takes hours. And many of the people who participated come from work or they have to go back to work. And it's a huge city. In other words, I mean, it's not like me, like a university, an academic. Uh, you know, my 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 salary is significantly higher than a factory worker or many other people. So they, in order to get there, in order to they're spending a whole day effectively to take a stand, to state their position, to make it known that they are against this terrorism, against these riots, and against U.S. Uh, and Western domination over our country. It's not, in the smaller cities, it's easier to get to the protests. In Tehran, just getting there is harder than participating in the protests, and getting back is also a challenge in itself. So people are making a clear statement with regards to foreign interference. I think it's clear as day, not only with regards to what Pompeo said, but also Mossad in, I think, in the Persian language account that they have. They also spoke of their agents being involved in Iran, and also a number of Israeli officials have spoken on Israeli TV and said more or less the same. But just to prove a point, the reason why they brought down the internet in Iran, they shut it down, was because these rioters were all being coordinated and they're from different groups. They're ISIS. They're the Mujahideen Khalq, a terror organization based in Europe. They're the monarchists. They're the Komole, which is a Kurdish terrorist group. And all these different groups were active, killing people, destroying uh, clinics, destroying banks, destroying private automobiles, destroying private houses. Real madness. And some of these people, by the way, were taking drugs, and there's footage of it. I may have tweeted one of those, one of where some lady is passing things out those. But in any case, uh, these extremely violent people, when the internet went out, suddenly it collapsed. Suddenly it all collapsed. Why? Because they could no longer organize. Across the country it collapsed. So that's why we don't have internet. That's why I came all the way. I went to the rally and I got stuck in traffic. Went there, walked around for an hour and a half, went back home, got stuck in traffic, and then came all the way from that side of the city to this studio. So I had to come all the way, like an hour drive, just to get internet, so I could speak with you. There's no internet for ordinary people unless someone has like Musk's whatever it's called. So when they cut off the internet, suddenly the network collapsed. And as I said, that's because there's this huge network that is nationwide and that has been active in different parts of Tehran and in different parts of major cities and in different cities across the country. It suddenly fell apart. Why? Because they were no longer able to coordinate with their paymasters abroad. And of course, those who were arrested, uh, many of them had guns. They were shooting from within crowds at the police. As I said, some people, it seems, were being shot from within the crowd. It reminded me of the Maidan, if you recall, in 2014, when the people who were behind the coup, they were shooting both at the police in Kiev or Kyiv, depending on who controls the city next year. We'll have to decide then what the name of the city will be. But they were shooting both at the police and they were shooting at the people on the streets. Why? Because they wanted more deaths. But as I said, I think that uh, someone like Pompeo, when Mossad itself gives out a Persian statement saying that we're on the ground in Iran, why should we need to prove anything? They are the ones who are boasting about it.